Like it has always been said that India wins the war but loses in diplomacy. एकदम old school बचपन से सुना हुआ.
These are not yes and no answers. These are not. This cannot be yes and. It's not a rapid fire round. आज ही पीट देना चाहिए था कि नहीं देना. अरे भाई क्यों दिया, कैसे दिया, क्या कंडीशन थी? 1 जनवरी मेरा यही सवाल. There is a logic of global politics. There is a logic of ceasefire. There is a logic of the UN. There is a logic of all these things.
And on the other hand, there were some people who were realist and pragmatist. So वहाँ पे पटेल है and then उसके बाद शास्त्री जी है. So do we look at the development of policy from that angle as clash of two sides of?
In this episode of Akhyan Diaries, we have Dr. Sanjeev Chopra, a 1985 batch IAS officer who spent years navigating the corridors of power, including as the director of Labasna. Beyond a life in civil service, Dr. Chopra is also a passionate historian and public intellectual, known for his scholarship on Sardar Patel, on how modern India's map has evolved, and on Lal Bahadur Shastri. In this episode, we revisit the personas of Patel and Shastri through a masterclass on civilizational geography, political realism, and beyond. This is a conversation about the making of a nation.
As far as India is concerned, there is the geography of India, there is the geography of the nation state of India, and there is a civilizational or a cultural or a sacred geography of India. How many people in Manipur did not want integration with India? You see, ये तो because अब बाद में situation जिसको जैसे भी interpret किया गया हो, the fact is that the majority of people in Manipur wanted to be part of India.
Everybody knows that before 47 it was the civil service that was ruling India largely. The main who ruled India, as Philip Mason also says.
Civil services में क्या होता है कि because there's a young blood, there's a fresh entrants which are coming in every year. So they carry that kind of उत्साह and that enthusiasm. शास्त्री जी पे इतिहास में 2 पन्ने मिलेंगे, 3 पन्ने मिलेंगे.
True. Not even that much.
Not even that much. So who's going to read a book on Shastri?
आपका चैप्टर जहाँ खत्म होता है आखिरी चैप्टर, it ends with death of शास्त्री जी. बट उसके बाद की जो सारी कंट्रोवर्सीज है, you have not.
मैं no, I'll tell you.
Was it purposeful?
नहीं, उसमें
Welcome to Akhyan Diaries, episode number 7. Today we have with us Dr. Sanjeev Chopra, who has been ex-IAS. Before going ahead, let me introduce him in a bit. Dr. Chopra became IAS in 1985, West Bengal cadre. But he was born in 61 in Kapurthala in then United Punjab. So after his stint as an administrator, he also has been very active in various spheres. एक चीज जो मुझे काफी इंटरेस्टिंग लगी वो है इज एग्जीक्यूटिव कमिटी मेंबर ऑफ आईआईसी आल्सो.
अरे ठीक है. It's I've been a member there for a long time.
Yeah.
So
but those people, those Marathi people who come to Delhi feel some affinity to IISc because of C.D. Deshmukh. That connection.
Well, is that so? Okay, because I think so many people have been associated with it. I mean, Radhakrishnan was the person who set it up. So I think good. I mean, I'm glad if you think that because of C.D. Deshmukh. But I think, it's not very good to associate people like C.D. Deshmukh or Radhakrishnan with any one region of the country. I mean, C.D. Deshmukh was a great nationalist, was one of the finest cabinet secretaries that we had, So, I think we should not tie up people with their identity.
Yes.
So I think we should look at a pan-India identity rather than say that, this is because of this or this is because of that. So it's not very nice.
Okay.
I think we should look at a pan-India identity for most people.
But I was very interested also because we don't often come across administrators who are also academically involved, scholars, etc. So you're one of.
I always wanted to be a teacher or a journalist.
Oh, you were a journalist earlier.
I was a journalist earlier, and left to me, I would have been happy to continue there or to become a teacher. I mean, to be teaching in a college. But my father was very keen that I join the civil services.
Oh.
That I think that middle class obsession still continues.
So you picked up
More than the
threads.
aspirants, I think their parents want them to sit for the exam.
So you picked up threads after retirement also.
Well, I have been writing throughout. I mean, I won't say that I picked up. I've now got more time to read and write. But I've always been invested in reading and writing. In fact, as we ran from when I was a joint secretary here in Delhi, we used to do this books and authors series at the CSOI, where
Okay.
every month we would take up a book written either by a civil servant or by an author who was writing about civil services, and we would discuss it. So this is not new. But I did not have that kind of time. So probably earlier I could read one book in a month. Now I can read 2 books in a week. So that's the difference.
Okay. Yes, so you have written these 2 excellent books with the people of the states of Bharat. The story of how India's state formation has evolved over decades.
Yeah.
And the other book, the relatively recent one, is The Great Conciliator about Shastriji. It's a biography of Shastri. It's a very traditional type of biography of Shastri, but with new perspective. So let us begin this conversation. My first question will be primarily about Patel. The Patel is often associated with what you have also said here about state formation, uske pehle bhi, the integration of princely states. Now, I teach history as a subject and I try to make some comparisons across the world. I see, for example, in 1820s, we have Simon Bolivar, who the liberator in South America. He was successful in liberating many countries, but he failed in unifying them. His philosophy, his dream of unification could not come true. Cut to 50 years, we have Bismarck. He is also known as a great unifier of Germany, but the method and the process through which he did it ultimately somehow led to at least one of the causes of World War I. In case of Patel, we see that his methods were quite different in a way that they did not lead to such a long-term problem. So why was it so?
One of the things that we got to understand is, that as far as India is concerned, there is the geography of India, there is the geography of the nation state of India, and there is a civilizational or a cultural or a sacred geography of India. You see, if you look at the Mahabharata as a text, as a foundational text of India, which I think it is, then that Mahabharata gives you a description of about 108 kingdoms or republics or principalities.
Janapadas.
Janapadas at that time, right? So 11 armies on the Kaurava side, 7 or 8 armies on the Pandava side. And the very first or second shlok, it is asking that, give me, what are these forces doing? What are these people doing? So our concept of Bharat, the concept of civilizational concept of Bharat stretches from Gandhar, which is now in Afghanistan, to the Malaya kingdom, to Chola kingdom, to right up to the areas in Arunachal, where Rukmani was supposed to have been, in Dimapur. So all these are part of the cultural construct which has always been there. So even when you were you were born in Kapurthala, or you were born in Patiala, or you were born in Hyderabad, or you were born in Solapur or someplace, that is, you belong to that principality. You are a part of that principality, but you do not forget that you are part of that larger Bharatvarsha, right? So there is that cultural civilizational connect. That civilizational cultural connect of belonging to something in which the Dharma Shastras and the Upanishads and the oral tradition and all these things is continuing was not there in Latin America. I mean, there was no such thing as an ancient Latin America. So what do you do? Unite. Germany is a classic example of trying to unify on the basis of a language.
Right.
But here, in addition to, and because you've done Peggy Mohan recently, you must know that in addition to Sanskrit, there was the Prakrit and there were multiple Prakrits.
Yes.
So we've had a very interesting overlay, I would say, that there is the broader definition of Dharma, which everybody is following. So whether it was the Raja Janak here, whether it was a king in Punjab, whether it was a king anywhere, the foundational texts, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar, Dharma, the Varna Ashram Dharma, like it, don't like it, that's another matter. We will not comment on that. But the point is that was the overall superstructure, or that was the overall architecture in which the Indian society was made, and that is what has continued. So when you talk about Rama Rajya, you're not talking about a Rajya in Ayodhya, for example.
Right.
You're not talking about, because, Lahore says, is the from the progeny of Ram. So जो हमारा जो concept रहा है भारत में, तो एक भारत रहा है, एक geographic भारत रहा है, और geographically भारत जितना ज़्यादा उसकी expansion late Mughals ने की, because see neither of the Gupta or the Mauryas, they could not, nobody has been able to
Yes.
to physically occupy that map. I mean, if you take the map of India of say the Gupta period or the Maurya period or the Chalukya period or any period, or and in fact even Aurangzeb when he went down towards the thing, in fact the recorded landmass of India सबसे ज़्यादा तो लॉर्ड कर्जन ने देखा है 1903-1904 में, अगर आप देखें before, because look at the British Empire at that time.
Yes.
You know, Burma was a part of India.
Yes.
उधर Aden
Yes.
in the Gulf was a part of India. Right, उधर देखो आप, right from the border of Afghanistan
Yes.
to you touching Thailand.
Yes. And there is also this Tibetan expedition at that time.
Tibetan वो तो हो गई थी ना, Tibetan expedition. In fact, उसमें now I'll tell you. You see, what was happening was that Curzon का एक बड़ा important lecture है. It's called Frontiers. This was the Romance Memorial Lecture in Oxford. उसमें Curzon talks about borders, about frontiers. He says there are frontiers, then there are buffer states, and frontiers, borders, and boundaries. There are natural borders, there are political borders, and there are borders which you are creating as a buffer. So the idea of the इनका जो idea था Curzon का, वो था कि neither Russia nor China should move towards India. So he wanted to create a buffer. So Tibet was supposed to be a buffer, and so was Afghanistan. Now, whether the great game existed or did not exist, we don't know. But because of that great game, a lot of things happened. I mean, the Afghan wars happened because of that. The Anglo-Burmese wars happened because of that. The Tibetan, the young husband expedition happened because of that. Now, because now latest research shows that there was no such thing as the great game, that the Russians did not have that intent. But we don't know. बहुत सारी चीजें तो हो जाती हैं इस assumption में कि दूसरा आदमी ये सोच रहा है. And so, I mean, and then it becomes part of popular literature. Rudyard Kipling wrote about it. Kim became a part of it. अभी वो
there is a great book by Peter Hopkirk on this.
उसके हॉपकिंस की किताब आ गई, पीटर की किताब आ गई. So we never know, but the point is that is the larger conception. So in that conception, a lot of things happen. So what was the question? I forgot. पूछा था आपने कुछ.
नहीं, question was about integration of.
So मैं यही बता रहा था कि so for Bismarck, it was only the German-speaking area. Now here we were able to get the Telugu-speaking areas. Yes. The Kannada-speaking areas. The Punjabi-speaking areas, all the other areas, like Gujarati, this, Tamil, Malayalam. So, उनको integrate करके भी nobody felt कि it is not part of India. Yes. And the great thing about, say, a national anthem, Punjab, Sindh, Gujarat, Maratha, Dravid, Utkal, Banga. So this means that all these are part of it. So when you have Dravid, Utkal, Banga, you can also have the Kabui language, you can have the Mizo language, you can have as many languages, you can have as many cultures, you can have as many denominations. So that is the beauty of this country, and that derives from the larger civilizational perspective that we've had. So Sardar Patel could, you see, all this history is actually one level upon another level upon another level. You cannot suddenly rewrite history. You cannot suddenly overwrite history. Even when you try to overwrite history, like take the case of the Soviet Revolution, for example. वो 60 साल तक कुछ नहीं हुआ, फिर बाद में सेंट पीटर्सबर्ग बन गया. True. You see, so you cannot erase history. You cannot wish away history. Now, whatever you might say, Mao's China has not been able to get rid of Confucius. And the present regime has not been able to get rid of Mao. There's a world of difference between Deng Xiaoping and Mao. Yes. And yet, you cannot get out of what Mao had laid down. PLA फिर भी वैसे ही चल रहा है, वैसे ही ऑपरेट कर रहा है. So बहुत सारी चीज़ें चेंज होती हैं, बहुत सारी चीज़ें वैसी ही रहती हैं, और इस तरीके का एक क्लियर कट डिवाइड करना हिस्ट्री में पॉसिबल नहीं है. You cannot say कि ये ऐसे है और फिर ऐसे. Take the case of Indian Army, for example. I mean, Indian Army carries on a tradition of the British Army.
Oh, true.
कुछ चीज़ें वहाँ से हैं, कुछ चीज़ें नहीं हो गई, कुछ चीज़ें बदल गई और सडन ओवरनाइट ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन तो हो नहीं सकती, होनी भी नहीं चाहिए।
एक
आई वुड से कि होनी भी नहीं चाहिए।
एक छोटा किस्सा है इसमें। मद्रास रेजिमेंट का जो सिंबल है उसमें एक हाथी है, एंड वो हाथी वो है जो उन्होंने मराठों को हरा के वहां से
वो तो पूरा
बैटल ऑफ असाई वाला।
हाँ, वो तो हर साल उस पर कंट्रोवर्सी होता है।
True.
These are things which are there, you know, and so some things have to be treated as having been a part of
Yes.
history, and they should be allowed to be. ठीक है, था तो कोई बात नहीं।
True.
So
it was relatively a different kind of challenge for
Yes.
Patel compared to Bismarck and
yes,
other
yes,
people.
yes. And I think it was, I mean, difficult. See, Bismarck was able to achieve certainly. I mean, in Latin America में नहीं हो पाया, but Bismarck ने achieve कर लिया। लेकिन उसमें भी जो एक problem थी, वो थी कि all the constituent units are not equal. यहाँ भी तो ये problem थी ना। वहाँ भी एक advantage था that everybody was German speaking.
Yes.
Here the big problem is that the number of Bangla speaking people will compete with Marathi speaking people, will compete within Bihar with the Maithili speaking people. So that our problems are there. But again, we had a template to work on. We had a template to work on. And so that template came to some help, came for some help. Yeah.
But फिर भी let me try to pick something, some kind of criticism about the process that Patel carried on. जैसे कि when we think of, just as a discussion, Northeast India, there is very famous statement by Patel that is there not a brigadier in Shillong when it came to Manipur. So I have read about it that people in Northeast for a long time had that thought in mind that.
See, look, what happens is that in history, some statements get more prominent than other statements. This statement also has to be seen in a larger context. पहले तो हम ये realize करें कि मणिपुर में which parties were strong. मणिपुर में जब चुनाव हुआ, even under the Manipur state constitution जब 1947 में उन्होंने किया, the biggest parties were the Manipur Congress Party and the Manipur Socialist Party. The Manipur Shanti Party or Manipur Praja Party, which was led by the Maharaja, that got only 12 seats. तो majority opinion मणिपुर में भी कांग्रेस के साथ और सोशलिस्ट के साथ। देखिए, एक चीज हमें रियलाइज करनी चाहिए। And I'm talking about that Congress. I'm not, please do not mix it with this. The Congress was a mass movement. Gandhi's influence was a very profound influence. So all of Manipur, I mean, all of Manipur wanted integration with India. How many people in Manipur did not want integration with India? You see, तो ये तो because अब बाद में situation जिसको जैसे भी interpret किया गया हो, the fact is that the majority of people in Manipur wanted to be part of India. Majority people in Sikkim wanted to be part of India because, please realize that these were all very feudal places. Whereas India, in its from 1935 से जब से शास्त्री ने रिपोर्ट लिखी अपनी agrarian reforms committee में, और बाद में भी socialism although socialism became a part of our constitution much later, that India would be socialist, that India would have land reforms, that India would abolish zamindari, that India would have labor reforms, that India would treat everybody equally. ये तो बिल्कुल उसमें था ना, शुरू में था। बिल्कुल। तो आप एक बात बताइए कि जहाँ पे इतनी skewed land holding होगी, वहाँ पे why would people not want to become part of India? I mean, why would they not want to be part of India? एक तरफ एक राजा की regime है, and that Raja is not, I mean, all right, he may have been popular in his own areas, but the fact is that the mass, the majority, that gets reflected in the election results. I'm not making up these election results are there for to see. But what happens is that people only see one part of the statement. What he went to say was कि ये क्या इतनी vacillation क्या है, नहीं मानता तो फिर ठीक है, ठीक कर दो, उसमें क्या है? So every statement has to be seen in the context in which the statement.
But the statement became very infamous afterwards.
Yes, the statement became infamous. That is true. That is true. But the Maharaja himself was very vacillating. Yes. He was vacillating, right? Because एक चीज है, उसने कहा कि मैंने संविधान बना। देखिए, बड़ी 2-3 चीजें समझने की बात। Were these states ever independent? They were on the pittance of the British Raj.
True.
Nobody is saying that the British left them high and dry. The fact is that if they had to argue, they should have argued with England, ना कि आप हमारे साथ क्या कर रहे हैं. But they were asked very clearly कि you have to be, because earlier also, did they ever have foreign affairs with them?
They did not.
Did they ever have currency with them? They had a notional defense. उन्होंने बना दिया, ठीक है तुम इधर अपना ये 1200 घोड़े ले लो, इधर कर दो, वो कर दो, but were they an army? The British were very clear. एक और चीज आप नोट करिए.
Hmm.
They always use the word gaddi for these princes. They always use the word prince. What is the meaning of prince? A prince means a person who may become the king.
अच्छा.
But did ever Indian prince become a king? They never used the word king for him. They were called His Highnesses. And what was the King of England, the Queen of England called?
Means majesty.
Majesty. Why couldn't the throne be called the throne? Why is the throne called the gaddi? अब एक तरफ गद्दी है, एक तरफ throne है, तो गद्दी क्या है? मतलब if you look at it in terms of lexicon or other things, you are making a very clear distinction. ठीक है, तो ये तुम्हारी ऑक्स यहीं तक है, यहीं तक है, यहीं तक बने रहो. और पूरा हायरार्की बना दी. 101 तोपों की सलामी रानी और महारानी के लिए, 51 उसके कंसोर्ट के लिए, 31 वाइसरॉय के लिए. द हाईएस्ट द इंडियन कुड अचीव वाज 21
हैदराबाद लेता शायद.
4 थे. हैदराबाद, पटियाला was 19, हैदराबाद, मैसूर, जम्मू कश्मीर, बड़ौदा एंड वन मोर, आई एम फॉरगेटिंग द नेम, बट वो तो 5 ऐसे थे. बाकियों को फिर उसके बाद में 19 रखे, फिर 17 रखे, फिर 15 रखे, फिर 13 रखे, फिर 11 रखे, 9 रखे, फिर और कंफ्यूज किया. ये जैसे महाराज कपूरथला हो कहा कि यू आर 13, 15 in your own state. 2 are personal rank to you. And 2 are personal rank to you outside your state. तो वो तो हर आदमी को कंफ्यूज करके रखा. किसी को पद्मश्री, किसी को पद्म भूषण, किसी को पद्म विभूषण, किसी को भारत रत्न, किसी को 20 साल बाद भारत रत्न. तो ये they were very clever. I mean, and so that's the way they run. I mean, see, though the British regime in India was not only by force, it was by force, and it was also by a very intelligent use of working on people's ego. क्या नाम उनको देते थे, KCI, CAC, King Commander of the Indian Empire, Noble Commander, तो ये सब चलता रहता है इनका. These are all ways of doing it. So
सब्सटेंटिव फ्रीडम उनका पहले भी नहीं था. सब्सटेंटिव फ्रीडम दे डिड नॉट हैव इवन बिफोर.
so इसमें कोई ऐसी ताज्जुब की बात नहीं है कि उनका कर दिया तो कर दिया, क्या हो गया. So I don't really hold much. The only thing I would say is that, when it comes to abolition of privy purses and things, I have a slightly conservative view. I feel that it was a guarantee which had been given by a promise that had been given by Sardar Patel. Now, not Sardar Patel. It was part of the so it should not have. And it would not have made too much difference. In the long run, it would have dissipated by itself, because these privy purses they were not inflation linked. They were not to be revised. So आज की डेट में किसी को 5 लाख, 10 लाख, 20 लाख दे दिए तो
it was pittance anyway.
So pittance anyway.
True.
No, it was not a pittance when it started.
It became pittance.
It would have become a pittance over a period of time.
Yes. So coming back to Patel once again, about his reforms and his initiatives, I wanted to talk a little bit about his role in saving the civil services. That's a very mainstream thing. That everybody knows that before 47, it was the civil service that was ruling India largely. The man who ruled India, as Philip Mason also says. And whatever British did was through the instrument of bureaucracy. Positive, negative, jitna bhi ho. So there was some kind of angst against the higher civil services amongst the freedom fighters, and that was something that we debated in Constituent Assembly also कि इनको रखना है या reform करना है, कैसे करना है. And you have also talked about in one of the articles about provincializing versus.
One thing you must understand, that the ICS/IAS has been a continuing legacy. And एक और चीज हमें देखनी चाहिए कि all the municipal commissioners were from the ICS, whereas all the old chairmen were all Congress people. So it was C.R. Das, whether it was Nehru, whether it was Patel, they had worked with the ICS. So it is not that, again, 1947 is not a sudden change, you see, because before 1947, you had 1935, the Government of India Act. The Government of India Act 1935 में Chief Secretary काफी पास तो कर्व हो गई ना Chief Ministers या Premiers के साथ. So it is not that there was a sudden shift. The fact is that because of this, a lot of Europeans did not want to now come and sit for the civil service. तो दोनों चीजें हुई. देखो, एक चीज तो ये हुई that with Indianization, with Indians coming to political positions, the ICS would lose its old earlier thing. But more than that, a lot of Indians started getting in. You see, there are 2 or 3 phases in that also. देखो 1922 तक तो एग्जाम होता ही नहीं था इंडिया में. जब 1922 तक इंडिया में एग्जाम नहीं होता था तो कौन जा सकता था इंग्लैंड पढ़ने का? It would only be absolute the elite of the elite of the elite who would have the ability to
Creme
go.
de la
कौन
creme.
वो रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर के brother या इस महाराजा के भाई या उसके, and in fact Tata set up a scholarship but so one of the persistent demands of the Congress was that the civil services exam should be held in India. And from 1922, the exam started being held in India. And once the exam started being held in India, more and more Indians started appearing and more Indians started cracking it. So much so that then they had to put a limit to the number of Indians they wanted. But the fact is that Indians that started by 1930s, the majority of the ICS were already becoming Indian. So there is already and majority of the Indian ICS officers, let us understand, were totally, many of them were enamored by Gandhian ideology. Many of them were totally, because it was very difficult to be not absorbed in that fervor of the moment which was there. So whether it was whether it was this or whether it was even the INA of Subhash Bose, I mean the legend of Gandhi was a very prominent
Powerful.
legend.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to retrospectively कहना कि हो गया. So transition जो था ICS में भी तो हो रहा था. और I think 21 या 22 October या November, I've got it in one of my books, a meeting of the premiers of all these, of the 11 states was called, and all the Congress ruled states said, yes, we need an all India service. Because the fact that, you see, because again, the point is that unlike Bismarck's Germany, or unlike other small places, I mean, this is the first example of a multinational, multilingual, a large state. And in order to hold the state together, you needed a certain continuity. You needed, even for federal policy making, you need to know what the states are thinking. So part of the role of the IAS and the IPS and the Forest Service is also to keep whenever a union policy is being made, to keep in touch with the ground level पे क्या हो रहा है. So that role, अब उस role में, because आगे देखिए, today what is happening is that, and everything is being sold throughout the country. Like for example, Amul milk is sold throughout the country, right? Your brands of tea, whether it is your toothpaste, so there's everybody. So what is happening is that sales people, marketing people, they are traveling all over the country. तो एक किस्म से एक इंटीग्रेशन हो रही है. बॉलीवुड पूरे देश में है, तो एक किस्म से इंटीग्रेशन हो रही है. OTT प्लेटफॉर्म्स पूरे देश में है. So and this big churn of education that is happening. So because engineering colleges, medical colleges, CU, Delhi University, JNU, campuses all over, you're getting children from all over the country. There was some sort of integration is happening. But at that time, the integration was only happening Indian Army के through हो सकती है, civil services के through हो सकती है, थोड़ी सी political parties के through हो रही थी, because when the Congress would meet, or when say the Jana Sangh would meet, or when the Communist Party meeting would be there, then there would be delegates from all over the country. And then there would be some interaction. So जैसे जैसे कॉमर्स बढ़ता है, जैसे जैसे चीज़ें बढ़ती हैं, जैसे जैसे आप अपने डोमेन से बाहर जाते हैं, तो देश वैसे वैसे अपने आप भी उसका, you see, earlier what was happening is that you were producing locally, eating locally. But say from the 60s, wheat from Punjab has been moving all over the country. Sugar has been moving from Maharashtra to all over the country. Now pineapples are moving from Nagaland to all over the country. Cashew is moving from this states to all over the country. Copra is coming from Lakshadweep. It's coming from Nicobar. So बहुत सारी चीज़ें इसी तरह डेवलप होती हैं. जैसे जैसे इकोनॉमी इंटीग्रेट होती है, वैसे वैसे लोगों में भी इंटीग्रेशन बढ़ता है. लेकिन उस समय the role of the ICS and the role of the IAS as a successor service in national integration was far more salient than it is today, because today there are many instruments to do this. At that time, this was one of the main instruments to do this.
So my next question was about one more question about Patel. I think you have mentioned about the three Shaktis in your speech in PMML. Mantra Shakti, Utsaha Shakti and Prabhu Shakti. And I think it is from Kautilyan model, or is it, from where is it coming exactly? It was a very fascinating thing.
Yeah, वो मुझे, I don't, this is from a book, but I don't recall किसने कहा, but this was the conception.
Very interesting framework.
हाँ, कि वो तीनों शक्तियाँ जब combine करती हैं तभी काम होता है. I don't know whether it's part of Arthashastra. No, I don't think it's part of Arthashastra. अगर ये होता तो बहुत common होता. A lot of people would have used it.
True.
I read it in a book by Professor Rangarajan of IIM Calcutta. मैं भेज दूंगा आपको. I'll send you
ठीक है.
I'll send you the cover page.
But can you explain that concept exactly?
Yeah,
है
of
क्या?
course. You see, प्रभु शक्ति जो उसमें जो मैंने इलेबोरेट किया था, देयर इज प्रभु शक्ति, देयर इज मंत्रणा शक्ति एंड देयर इज उत्साह शक्ति. प्रभु शक्ति is sovereign power. Now that sovereign power derives its legitimacy from either from people or from divine or whatever way you look at it, So that is Prabhu Shakti. But that Prabhu Shakti has to be tempered by Mantrana Shakti. Because अगर उस प्रभु शक्ति को मंत्रणा प्रॉपर नहीं मिलेगी, तो that Prabhu Shakti can go all right. But both the Prabhu Shakti and the Mantrana Shakti need Utsaha Shakti. You need people to implement what is being thought. You could think of a strategic, ये करना है, हमें ये करना है, this is what we want. Mantrana Shakti can be, yes, these are the objectives, but ultimately you need feet on the ground.
Yes.
You need people who will implement it. So whether it is law and order or it is firefighting or it is, the pulse polio campaign or whatever, you need people on the ground who will do it. अगर सब थके थके मरे मरे लोग जाएंगे तो काम ही नहीं होगा.
True.
It is not policy, it is the उत्साह. So that is what the civil services में क्या होता है कि because there is a young blood, there is a fresh entrance which are coming in every year. So they carry that kind of utsaha and that enthusiasm which after a few years you cannot have. It is human nature. You see the sort of excitement or the sort of the sort of ability to go and tour any area, दूर चले जाओ, पहाड़ पे चढ़ जाओ, मतलब you were in a position when you were in your 20s and 30s. That is why if you have younger district magistrates, their ability to go to the spot, their ability to take up any challenge is much more than when you are in your 50s and say, it changes. So therefore, that is why it is important to have younger officers. In fact, all over the world, the army is trying to reduce the age of the commanding officer. बड़ा कॉन्शियस एफर्ट करके हमने अपने सीओ की जो एवरेज एज है उसको कम किया. बिकॉज अगर आपका सीओ यंग है तो वो बिल्कुल मतलब the ability to lead troops is higher.
True.
When you are younger. And that is why if you see these sacrifices, the younger officers tend to be in the line of fire. They tend to, take more proactive action. So that is Utsah. And Utsah is a very important component because Utsah होना चाहिए, लेकिन उत्साह को एक proper मंत्रणा होनी चाहिए.
Consultation.
और इसके ऊपर एक ऐसी sovereign authority होनी चाहिए जो consensus लेके आए. You see, अब क्या होता है कि जैसे कोई भी चीज़ होती है, कोई भी पॉलिसी ले लें हम, उसमें अगर पॉलिटिकल कंसेंसस होगा, बाद में उसमें मंत्रणा ठीक होगी और फिर उत्साह जितना होगा उतनी अच्छी से वो पॉलिसी जो है वो आगे बढ़ सकती है. अदरवाइज if there is a mismatch, then it doesn't work.
Then apply this framework to understand how Patel is integrating states also.
Well, largely because you see what was happening was that the enthusiasm of the common worker at that time was very, very intense. And remember that the new states, the young civil service was very, very eager and very keen to implement a lot of things. So I think that made a lot of difference.
If we compare Patel and Shastri, at one level, Patel was within Congress fold a right winger. Shastri ji doesn't seem to be like that.
Shastri ji was a centrist.
But both of them are pragmatist and realist.
Yeah.
And so when we look at history of these 50s and 60s, do we see that, as I think you had referred to it already, that some people were more ideological in orientation like Panikkar and Nehru, and on the other hand there were some people who were realist and pragmatist. So वहाँ पे पटेल है and then उसके बाद शास्त्री जी है. So do we look at the development of policy from that angle as clash of two sides of perspectives rather than persons?
No, you see, देखिए ऐसा था कि एक तो चीज़ जो हमें नोट करनी हुई है कि डिबेट का कल्चर काफ़ी था. You see, it was not very easy for Nehru to push through any reform. Take the case of the cooperative farming. When Nehru wanted to introduce it, Charan Singh opposed it. And Shastri, of course, remained quiet. I mean, one can, of course, say, why did he not support this or that? But he was more of he felt, we should try to conciliate. But the fact is कि debates बहुत होती थी, चर्चाएं बहुत होती थी, and it was not easy to, that changed only with Mrs. Gandhi, कि मैंने बोल दिया और ये कर दो. But आगे Congress की, if you go through the proceedings of the Congress, they're bright proceedings. I mean, there was a point of view, an opposing point of view, there is a counter point of view. Zail Singh लिखते हैं, that when he heard, इसमें मैंने लिखा हुआ है that when he heard Nehru, he was convinced with Nehru. Then he had Charan Singh and he was convinced with Charan Singh because both arguments were equally powerful. Charan Singh blew up Nehru's thesis about collective farming को. He said कि देखो तंजानिया में क्या हो रहा है, देखो सोवियत यूनियन में क्या हो रहा है, देखो इसमें क्या हो रहा है. So what happened was that that is where what happened was that resolutions, what do you say, a motherhood statement on cooperative farming was adopted, but it never was actually implemented because Charan Singh was a farmer's leader and he knew what it meant to be a farmer. Now, one can also say that when Charan Singh was looking at things, he was looking at things from the point of view of the farmer. There was a point of view of the landless labor. There was a point of view of the Dalit. There was a point of view of the scheduled caste. So, that there are many variations in history. So, when we look at history, one has to pass broad value judgments, one has to do things, but one has to understand what is the context. And in that context, one has to see कि general trend क्या है, intent क्या है. और intent में तो देखो even जैसे the fact that zamindari had to be abolished, the fact that land reform, अच्छा इसमें भी मजेदार चीज देखो. सारी जितनी land reform legislation थी बंगाल में, all that was passed by the Congress, but they did nothing about it. It was the left front which did it.
Yes.
Left front में भी पहले left front ने की, and that was again credit goes to one of IAS officer D बंदोपाध्याय did it. और उसके बाद में left front ने भी रोक दिया उसको. तो legislation कोई लाता है, legislation को implement कोई और करता है, और legislation को implement करने का credit कोई और ले जाता है. You see, and no policy happens in isolation. Whether it is the nuclear policy of the country, देखिए nuclear policy of the country में जब तक चाइना के पास एटॉमिक बॉम्ब नहीं था, तब तक वी वर सेइंग कि एटॉमिक बॉम्ब देयर शुड बी नो सच थिंग बिकॉज ओनली these people had it. I mean, USSR and US. The moment China had it, the first tweak in India's policy happened. From kabhi nahi to abhi nahi.
Yes.
Right. So it is not that plans are not afoot. I mean that we don't have the preparation. I mean it is not that suddenly in 1974 Mrs. Gandhi ने कहा कि चला दो तो चल गया. अबे उसकी तैयारी तो 20 साल से हो रही थी ना. 20 साल से हो रही थी, लेकिन ये था कि पहले it was meant exclusively for peaceful nuclear explosion. Now we also say peaceful nuclear explosion. Then it came up no first use. तो धीरे करके वो nuance उसका जो है वो बदलता जाता है. तो nuance is very important. I mean what you say and how you say is, and when you say, all these things are very important in politics. आप एक चीज को कैसे कहते हैं, वो कब कहते हैं, किस संदर्भ में कहते हैं.
शास्त्री जी का एक कॉन्टेक्स्ट और है कि मतलब दिस थिंग वाज न्यू टू मी. I used to think that Shastri ji continued lot of Nehru's things, but from this book it is very clear that there are certain areas, nuclear policy for example, and some other like but industry again, to agriculture.
I would say one thing. You see that this nuclear policy thing happened because China did something.
Yes.
देखिए एक चीज हमें हमेशा realize करनी चाहिए कि all policy is subject to what is happening around us in the world.
It's contextual.
It's contextual. अब आज की डेट में नॉन अलाइन का क्या मतलब? नॉन अलाइनमेंट तब खत्म हो गई ना जब सोवियत यूनियन ब्रेक हो गया. In fact, we should have, I mean, the non-aligned movement should have cancelled itself out. लेकिन ये हमारी प्रॉब्लम है वेस्टिजियल ऑर्गन बना के रखने की. What is the point of the NAM? There is no point of the NAM. It's over. The thing is, in fact, to raise an even more issue, what is the point of the UN? इस समय वो तीन जो परमानेंट मेंबर हैं वो कर रहे हैं जो उनको करना है. ट्रम्प कहता है I'll do what I want to do. पुतिन कहता है I'll do what I want to do. शी कहता है I'll do what I want to do. And these are two very small powers. I mean, compared to them, UK and France तो कुछ है ही नहीं. तो अब क्या किस यूएन की हम बात कर रहे हैं? तीन जो बिग डैडीज हैं वो कहते हैं हमें जो करना है हम करेंगे. तो क्या पॉइंट है? What is the point of having a UN? What is the point of doing all this? I mean, so it's much better to have SCO. It's much better to have BRICS. Much better to have IPSA. जिसमें आप अपने specific interest तो follow करें. So anyway, these are all things, over a period of time, everything changes. I mean, there is no consensus which remains consensus forever. So all consensus breaks down after 70. This is one of the lessons of history.
But Shastri his ear was to the ground to listen to changing. That is very important. And especially his shift of focus away from industry towards
to agriculture,
rural construction, etc. And that there is a contrast that I see, that when he is doing that in India to get rid of famines, for example, it is exactly at the same time in China famines are now coming after long. That
नहीं,
because-
चाइना में तो हानि शुरू हो गई थी. इनफैक्ट अदर थिंग विच सुबह भी मैं किसी को बता रहा था कि एक्चुअली इंडिया में इनफैक्ट आई वाज हैविंग दिस डिस्कशन ऑन दिस बुक, इंडिया में भी डाटा को बहुत लोग चैलेंज करते हैं, लेकिन हमारे डाटा को चैलेंज करते हैं ना. चाइना में तो डाटा है ही नहीं, आपको पता ही नहीं क्या हो रहा. अब जैसे चाइनीज हाउसिंग बैंक जब कोलैप्स होगा तो पता थोड़ी लगेगा. And all said and done, you see, the Indian capital market system, the SEBI, the regulator, the RBI, the rupee dollar thing, डिस्कशन हो रही है, डिबेट हो रही है, कोई कुछ बोल रहा है, कोई कुछ बोल रहा है, कोई कह रहा है फर्टिलाइजर सब्सिडी बढ़ा दो, कहता है मत बढ़ाओ. बट देयर इज अ स्पेक्ट्रम दैट इज हैपनिंग, राइट? यू एंड आई नो, एंड एवरीबॉडी हियर नोस कि क्या स्थिति क्या है. 56 लाख करोड़ का बजट है, कहाँ से आ रहा है, कहाँ जा रहा है, स्टेट्स की क्या फिजिकल पोजीशन है. सो वी नो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग,
बट बैक देन चाइना के बारे में हम नहीं
we don't
जानते.
know. We don't know. So that is, so comparisons can be made when you know what is happening. But internal, देखिए, fact remains that इतने generals को वहाँ पे शूट कर दिया गया है.
Recently, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
ये पता ही नहीं लगता वो आज फॉरेन मिनिस्टर है, कल को वो मतलब पता ही नहीं लगता वो है कहाँ पे. I mean, हमारे यहाँ ऐसा तो नहीं हो रहा ना.
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल. But Shastri's one thing was very interesting, that he was institution builder in the very short span of 2 years.
Great institution builder. That is in fact the next book, जो इसका जो paperback edition आ रहा है, उसमें I have added some chapters on the institutions built by him, including the NDDB, FCI,
You referred
CSCP.
to in some sections here.
जो था, लेकिन अब मैंने ना after that पिछले साल मैंने पे एक सीरीज लिखी थी on 60 years of the Tashkent Agreement. तो उसमें मैंने वो फिर कवर किया था.
अच्छा, NDDB
Because
है.
this was the Tashkent Agreement happened in 66. So I had written a series of articles on, you know, on six decades of the Tashkent Agreement.
Okay. So, मतलब, I had no idea. Whenever we think of White Revolution, we think of Amul, we think of Tribhuvan Das Patel, Varghese Kurian, even Morarji Desai for that matter, Sardar Patel. But Shastriji ka role is not.
You see, actually, point is कि as you know, I mean, narratives have to be built.
True.
Narratives have to be built, and I mean, I don't want to use a. But अब देखो, आज से I used to be in Delhi in 2010 to 15. I was here. तो हर जगह शीला दीक्षित जी की फोटो थी कि वो बच्चों को एग्जाम के लिए भी कंग्रेचुलेट कर रही हैं, ये कर रही हैं, वो कर रही हैं. Then those photos gave way to Kejriwal's photos. Those photos are given to Rekha Gupta's photos now. These are transient things. These are very, very transient things. And, you know, today, if you ask the next generation of, I mean, I can tell you, you would know, but if you go around and ask people who was the first chief minister of Delhi, go around. I mean, यहाँ तो खैर बहुत लोग तैयारी भी कर रहे हैं. How many people would know here today? अब चले जाओ सड़क पे पूछो कि दिल्ली का पहला मुख्यमंत्री कौन था, किसको पता?
True.
Nobody knows.
True.
Right?
True. So, but in case of Patel Shastri, again, these have been very stalwart people. I remember you telling that story somewhere in some YouTube video about आपको कहीं पटेल की मूर्ति मिली थी जो कि
that's a very interesting story. You see, what happened was that that Patel's statue was commissioned by the Dehradun Municipal Corporation in 1950s, and then Patel lost favor. I mean, especially during I mean, after Nehru and Mrs. Gandhi's time, he lost favor. तो हमारे district magistrate of committee, he went one day. He was a very keen thespian, theatre वगैरह में interested थे. तो गए तो देखा कि वो म्युनिसिपल हॉल में एक जगह में 2 गैराज में कुछ वो पड़े हुए थे. तो इसे क्या है? तो nobody knew. जैसे खोलो, they found a statue of Sardar Patel. So he invited the minister to inaugurate it. तो minister did not. I mean, भावुकनाथ थे या कोई थे? He was very scared कि अब पटेल के बस्ट को inaugurate करेंगे, तो इसे चलो मैं ही कर देता हूँ. So he inaugurated. So the DM lodged the bust. So सदा वो जो जनरल पोस्ट ऑफिस के सामने लगा हुआ उनका बस्ट सरदार पटेल का.
So नहीं, मतलब this is story. For example, we have this book on Shastri. a lot of other historians also have tried to talk about biographies of many people of 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I think there is a moment in this time right now that there is reassessment going on
Yes, you
of
see,
a lot of important.
what has happened is that for the first time, there is interest, and there is time, there is resource, and there is a vibrant publishing industry. You see, the fact is that till about, and I'll certainly give credit to a lot of these international publishers for producing books of absolutely international quality. इससे पहले जो Indian publishers थे, they were producing very few books. You know, book length भी कम थी, book run भी कम था. So now that the country is emerging out of a अब जैसे if I had decided to write books 30 years ago, my parents would have said, "Have you gone crazy? I mean, how are you going to live?" Now it is possible today. Today it is possible to be a full-time historian. Today it is possible for me to say, all right, I don't want to do anything, but I want to write books. But 20 years ago, it was not possible. You would hardly got any royalty. You would have not come and interviewed me. Who would have read the books? तो क्या करता आदमी? You could have written only textbooks. And textbooks cannot be written with interest. Because शास्त्री जी पे इतिहास में 2 पन्ने मिलेंगे, 3 पन्ने मिलेंगे.
True. Not
Right.
even that much.
Not even that much. So who is going to read a book on Shastri? So now that we have the ability and the resource and the time
And
to write a book,
people are also interested.
people are interested, they have the resources to buy these books. And there is a general interest, the podcast culture has come in. So that is why all this has happened. That is why today I can live off my writings. But, and of course, the pension is very, very good, and I'm very happy with my pension. But the fact is that it is possible now
True.
for an author to be an author, and unfortunately for Hindi authors, it's not true. Because Hindi की किताबें इतनी नहीं बिक रही हैं, लेकिन उसमें कोई there's nothing that you're getting because the sale price of the book is very limited. अब जैसे इसकी जो हिंदी edition आएगी, that will be about 400 rupees something. So कटा के, I mean, what will the author get? Right. So in Hindi it is even more difficult, but now it is theoretically possible to write books and to have a good, decent, I won't say an extravagant
Sir,
lifestyle.
that is the economic side of it. My main
No, but that economic side is very important, because without that economic side, how do you do
other
it?
thing doesn't exist.
It won't have happened.
True.
Because now research also requires a lot of travel. I mean, I'm going to, this Tawang thing, if you have to travel, if you make at least, because I'll have to go at least 5-6 times to Tawang. So I'm happy that the NEC is supporting my endeavor. They've tied up with IIM Shillong, so NEC is taking care of my travel. But without that travel cost being taken care of,
True.
it is not possible for you to go and undertake a visit to Tawang, and I'll have to make at least 4-5 visits. I'll have to go to Tawang, then I have to go to Tyonzang, where he was a political officer, Mokokchung, where he was the DM, Kohima, if funds permit, to Rangoon, where he was our High Commissioner, and our ambassador, and Papua New Guinea, where he helped make the constitution.
Okay.
So, everything is a function of time, resource, and now with the new libraries that are coming, not the new libraries. अब जैसे अब पूरी की पूरी, not पूरी की पूरी, but I would say 65% of our national archives have been digitized. तो जयराम दास दौलतराम पेपर सब के सब उसमें अवेलेबल है मुझे. तो आगे मुझे, in fact, even when I was doing this We the People of the States of Bharat and Shastri book, one had to go to Nehru Memorial, look into the microfilms, and then do a lot of work.
The old school.
But अब वो ज़रूरत ही नहीं है, because everything has been digitized. Everything has been digitized. Oh, you want a document from Foreign and Commonwealth Office, you get it. You want something from the Johnson Library, you get it. So everything is available at the drop of a hat. So much of digitization has happened, which has made it easier to do work. I mean, frankly, I like coming to the libraries. अच्छा लगता है थोड़ा इधर उधर हो, but I mean, for all practical purposes, Shalini, my EA, I tell her ये निकालो, ये करो, वो करो, वो करो. सुबह उसको बता दिया, शाम तक ये निकालो, वो निकाल के दे देती है मुझे. I mean, that
it has enabled the whole thing.
And she doesn't have to meet me. I mean, she sits, she's in Dehradun, but her home is about 10 kilometers away. उसको बोल देते हैं सुबह ये निकालो भाई, ये जयराम इधर जाओ. अब अरुणाचल आर्काइव्स है, so she is a member of the अरुणाचल आर्काइव्स, तो वहाँ से निकाल लिया. नागालैंड से आपको डॉक्यूमेंट चाहिए. So a lot of documents have become have been digitized. कुछ अभी नहीं हुए बट वो भी हो जाएंगे, 2-3 साल में हो जाएंगे. सो दी इट्स अ चैलेंज एंड इट्स एन एडवांटेज. आगे क्या था कि मटेरियल कम था, तो उस कम मटेरियल से आपको एनालिसिस करना आसान था. अब मटेरियल बहुत बढ़ गया. अब नेक्स्ट राउंड में क्या होगा कि अभी तक जितनी रिसर्च हुई है शास्त्री पे, दैट इज बेस्ड ऑन इंग्लिश न्यूज़पेपर्स.
Yes.
नेक्स्ट रिसर्च में अब उड़िया में उन पे क्या लिखा गया, बंगला में उन पे क्या लिखा गया, उनकी डेथ का क्या क्या रिएक्शंस थे, वो आएगा. उनकी इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेशन भी आसान हो
एक्चुअली
गई.
मुझे वो भी सर पूछना था.
हाँ.
आपका चैप्टर जहाँ खत्म होता है, आखिरी चैप्टर,
हाँ.
इट एंड्स विद डेथ ऑफ शास्त्री जी, बट उसके बाद की जो सारी कंट्रोवर्सीज है, यू हैव
देखिए
नॉट,
मैं नो आई विल टेल यू
वाज इट
वेरी
पर्पसफुल?
क्लियर. पर नहीं, उसमें ट्विटर पे डिबेट हुई एंड आई हैव बीन टेलिंग पीपल दैट लुक देयर इज ओनली वन बुक बाय अनुज धीर व्हिच टॉक्स अबाउट योर प्राइम मिनिस्टर इज डेड, एंड आई हैव सेड आई एम विलिंग टू डिबेट दिस एट एनी प्लेटफॉर्म एनीवेयर with facts and figures that how some of the assumptions that are made in that book are not to be borne on the crucible of empirical credibility. That's what I would say. Because as a historian, you see, there's a difference between a historian and a journalist.
True.
There is nothing. You open the last page of you open the thing. There is nothing in the book which does not have a source. Everything which I attribute is because of there is a source to it, right?
Yes.
Yes, there will be an interpretation of those facts, but I will have to give and just open. See, dekho,
I've seen.
you see, both in these books, there is no statement which can be made
True.
without reference to.
Without reference, we have almost so many pages of references also.
Because आप पूछ सकते हैं ना.
Yeah.
And not only that, when these publishers, especially I've dealt with only two, Harper and Bloomsbury, they have such strong legal scrutiny. Such strong legal scrutiny that no statement should appear which cannot be backed by a fact. Where you are giving an interpretation, you'll have to say you're giving an interpretation. But you'll again have to base that interpretation on a whole series of facts. Right?
But sir, looking as an historian, if you look at the lot of books which are coming into market now about historical, where are we going exactly?
Some books are history books.
Huh.
Some books clearly say that they are historical fiction. Some books clearly say that this is a fiction which is based on some historical characters. So there is a hierarchy of books. There is a hierarchy of books.
True.
I am a historian, but in my history, I try to make it interesting by bringing in some facts, some little known facts, which will make it interesting. For example, the fact that Marie Curie was an idol for him.
Yeah.
That's something which is there. So it's a fact, right?
True.
The poems that he wrote for his daughter, it's a fact. His instances with Swaran Singh, I mean, his sense of humor, all this embellishes the history. There's nothing that I will write. Then there are historical fictions, which make it very clear that it's a work of historical fiction. And then there are fictions which have some historical things. So there are three grades.
Yes.
So you have, full cream milk, then
single
tone milk,
double toned,
and double toned milk. So हमारा तो भैया full cream milk है इसमें. That is what I like. This is what you get. What I give is full cream milk.
True.
No adulteration. In fact, वो जो double toned milk है ना, that is coffee milk. वो तो दूध में rose flavor, coffee flavor, almond flavor milk. Very different from. So almond flavor milk is almond or milk. That's a question that you have to ask. Whether cold coffee is coffee or milk.
History
that
or
you have
fiction.
to ask. So history, historical fiction, and a fictional work which has some historical
context.
आज ये original हो गया मेरे से. I had not thought of this in this slide. Whatever, thank you for asking this very intelligent question.
So I just wanted to cover one more segment about Shastri's external policy. You have dealt it in detail about entire war also, 65 war, starting Kutch, Gibraltar, Punjab front, and then also Tashkent agreement. It has always been said that India wins the war but loses in diplomacy. एकदम old school बचपन से सुना हुआ एक है. तो looking
मैं
back,
आपको एक counter question दे रहा हूँ.
हाँ.
Trump है.
हाँ.
The world's, we have to accept it. उससे बड़ी power तो नहीं है. Israel, उससे ज़्यादा technological prowess किसी की नहीं है. कितने दिन हो गए ईरान के साथ लड़ते हुए?
True.
हुआ ceasefire? No. जो ceasefire होगा, वो क्या ट्रंप की टर्म्स पे होगा या नेतन्याहू की टर्म्स पे होगा? ceasefire में तो compromise होगा ही होगा.
Yes.
तो जब ट्रंप और इजराइल have not been able to get their way with Iran, right? I'm just giving because You see, no ceasefire.
It's a compromise.
No ceasefire will all. या तो फिर ऐसा हो जैसे वर्ल्ड वॉर में फतेह कर दी, पूरी फतेह कर दी, और फिर आपने ट्रीटी कर दी, वो ट्रीटी फिर वायलेट हुई, फिर सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर हुई। या आपने जापान को इतना ध्वस्त कर दिया, आपने जर्मनी को इतना ध्वस्त कर दिया कि फिर उनके वो बचा ही नहीं कुछ। That's another scenario. I mean, if you completely eliminate Iran and then you have a puppet regime there and have a treaty with him, then it's a different matter. But you're not dealing with the puppet regime in Pakistan.
Yes.
Please understand that. Must understand that we were advantageous in certain sectors. Pakistan had an advantage in certain sectors. How far was Pakistan from Akhnur? What is the distance between Akhnur and Srinagar? We similarly had an advantage in Burki, in Sialkot. But did we not need them to go back from where they were in Kashmir? देखिए बहुत easy होता है ये कहना कि ये भी ले लें, ये भी ले। आफ्टर ऑल व्हाट इज अ सीज फायर? सीज फायर हुआ, उसके बाद एग्रीमेंट होती है। अच्छा, दूसरा एग्जांपल आपको देता हूँ, दिस इज स्टिल ओके। 71 के बाद हमारे पास 93,000
Yes, soldiers.
बट व्हेन यू आर अ सिग्नेटरी टू द जिनेवा एग्रीमेंट, व्हाट वुड यू डू? यू सी, प्लीज लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड दैट, आई मीन, Mrs. Gandhi had to abide by this because it is also part of the Geneva Agreement. You can't say that I will not accept. अब जब आपने साइन कर दिया कोई चीज तो आप कहेंगे मैं नहीं करता। ये तो जैसे बच्चे क्रिकेट खेलते थे ना, मैंने बैटिंग कर दी, भाग गया, बोल ले। आपने भी किया बचपन में, मैंने बहुत किया, वो बैटिंग कर ली, भाग गया। But you know, so that is an aspect which we must understand, that all negotiations, all international negotiations require give and take.
Yes.
You have to understand your strength, their strength, and then हाजी पीर को लेके इशू था। लेकिन एक चीज हमें रियलाइज करनी है कि जो हमारी एग्रीमेंट हुई थी 1 जनवरी 1949 में, 1 जनवरी 1949 पे एज इज वेयर इज जो था, एज इज वेयर इज ऑफ 1949 वाज अ सीजफायर लाइन, CFL approved, sealed, signed by the United Nations. अब सवाल ये है कि 1 जनवरी 1949 को हाजी पीर कहाँ था? 1 जनवरी 1949 को अखनूर किसके पास था? 1 जनवरी 1949 को बुर्की किसके पास था? तो आप ये तो नहीं कह सकते ना कि मैं तो अपनी पोजीशन पे आ जाऊंगा और आप अपनी पोजीशन पे ना जाएं। These are very simple questions which we have to answer. So your country, I love my country, but I cannot argue for my country if it does not make logical, legal, common sense. We have to have that point in view. मेरे लोग शहीद हो गए, yes, I feel bad that but we cannot not understand that there is a logic of global politics. There is a logic of ceasefire. There is a logic of the UN. There is a logic of all these things. जब मैं कोई चीज, हम negotiation करने गए, आप कहते हैं मैं आपकी बात नहीं मानता, आप भी मेरी बात नहीं, कैसे होगा वो? And it is not that Pakistan ध्वस्त हो गया था. It is not that India ध्वस्त हो गया था. Both were competing middling powers, and let us not underestimate the fact that Pakistan was a member of all the US alliances. It was part of CENTO. It was a part of CENTO, right? So it is not such a
easy.
And अब 71 में पाकिस्तान ब्रेकअप हुआ, लेकिन 71 तक तो पाकिस्तान एक ही था। वो तो अयूब खान की, I mean, the way Pakistan evolved after that, I mean, but for Mr. Bhutto, I mean, maybe things would have been very different, you know. So that's what I'd like to say.
Somehow, मतलब I totally agree with you. But ये हाजी पीर की बात अब तक लोग बातें करते हैं इसकी।
नहीं करते हैं because see, ऐसा है ना कि
out of all this, that thing has survived.
The point is that you see, you have to look at, I mean, I always say कि you have to look at the immediate, the short term, the long term. Everything has to be seen. Only then you can get a long durée view of history. And otherwise, it's a debate on TV. You know, the good thing is that we've had 1 hour of conversation, so I can explain things to you. But these are not yes and no answers.
Yes.
These are not, this cannot be yes sir. It's not a rapid fire round. हाजी पीर देना चाहिए था कि नहीं देना? अरे भाई, क्यों दिया, कैसे दिया, क्या कंडीशंस थी? 1 जनवरी, मेरा यही सवाल है। 1 January 1949, where was Haji?
True. On the other side.
If we have agreed that we shall go back to the territories that we had as on that day, what do you do? हमारा जो मेन उनके साथ मुद्दा था वो ये था कि 5 अगस्त को, whether the war started on 3rd September or the war started on 5th August.
Yeah, that date is
in fact 5th August, that is why 370 की abolition की.
Yeah.
Mr. Modi is very intelligent that he calibrates his dates and times very carefully. So because it was 5th August, we were saying that the invasion started when the infiltration started. Because that was in civil dress. Pakistan said कि इंडिया ने 3 सितंबर को फौजें चढ़ा दी पाकिस्तान पे. Finally, the UN agreed, USSR agreed, everybody agreed that actually aggression started on 5th August. So that is why I've called it the moral and semantic victory for
Semantic
Shastra.
victory. Yeah.
So, we have to look at things in that perspective. It is very easy to, it's very easy to be critical of.
Actually, I like that section a lot. 5th of August का importance कि when Pakistan infiltrated किया वहाँ से aggression शुरू होता है. When I was reading that chapter, I also realized Operation Sindoor had already happened, and in the Operation Sindoor recently had already happened. उस समय जब पढ़ रहा था, and in the global media now, people have forgotten Pahalgam. For them, it started with we started Sindoor. But उस समय शास्त्री जी मैनेज की नहीं. पहलगाम का इक्विवेलेंट जो इवेंट होगा वहाँ पे, that is the starting point of the whole thing.
The war of narratives is very important.
Yeah.
So,
ठीक है. So those questions I had in mind.
very good.
Thank you, sir.
I enjoyed the conversation. वो बड़ा अच्छा आज मिल गया मुझे वो
History.
history वाला, that.
Thank you, sir.
What a pleasure.
Thank you.